boy Jones.
Yo, this is Sprag.
Yo, it's your boy Cutter B.
Peace, it's your boy Cy Brooks. Yo, this your boy Tony Navan. You already know who I'm rocking with.
You're tuned in.
You're tuning in and you're listening to my guy, 88 Coops, man, podcast
And
about
you listening
Nathan.
to the podcast about Nathan with my bro, 88.
To my nigga 88 Coops, the podcast about Nathan.
On the podcast about
88.
Nathan.
The podcast about Nathan. So stay locked.
Yo, it's your boy, 88, man. You listening to my shit. The podcast about Nathan.
It's the podcast about Nathan, episode 65. I got a little surprise for y'all today. This is my first video recorded podcast. I decided to do it today. At first, before I thought I couldn't do it based on the equipment I have at hand. Turns out I can do it, and iPhones can do a lot of things. Shout out to Apple. Hopefully y'all sponsor me. Nah. But so right now I'm audio recording and I'm video recording, and it'll be up on YouTube whenever I upload it to YouTube. After I do all the editing and the chopping and screwing and all that good stuff to make it come out how I want it to come out. It's a lot of work, man. Believe me, it's a lot of work. I actually wanted to run some test trials last week of the video, but something happened with the phone, and I was confused at first on what was going on and all that good stuff. So I spoke to my experts, my analysts, and they let me know what's the deal. I corrected it, and here we are recording video. So, like I said, this is the podcast about Nathan, episode 65. Kind of say it's a milestone. It's the 65th. I haven't said a milestone episode since the 50th. That was 15 episodes ago. That was like last year type shit. So, milestone, first video recorded podcast. But let's get right to it. I got a lot of stuff to talk about. But first off, I got to start with rest in peace to the victims of the two mass shootings that occurred last week, man. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. This shit, that mass shooting shit is wicked to me. Like, rest in peace to the victims of the El Paso and the Dayton, Ohio shootings, man. It's like I was at work and CNN is hitting my notifications nonstop. But this is CNN nonstop, nigga. Every 25 minutes with a new update, and then when the new update of the first one. Then the second one happened at like an hour later or 2 hours later. Now I'm getting updates from both of them nonstop. And it's like, okay. So, what's this? CNN. It says El Paso. What happened? A gunman shot and killed at least 22 people in an El Paso Walmart on Saturday. The suspect, identified as 21-year-old Patrick Cruzius, has been charged with capital murder. Possible hate crime. The Justice Department is also seriously considering bringing federal hate crime and federal firearm. Obviously. Is that even up to date? Which carry a possible death penalty. The white nationalist document. People say racist, anti-immigrant document they believe was written by the suspect has a nexus to a potential hate crime. The 4-page document posted online exposes? That's a new word. I never seen that. Espouses? That's a new one. I've never seen that before. ESPOUS. It'll be on the screen. Shout out to video watchers. It'll be on the screen. The 4-page document posted online espouses white nationalist and racist views. So, that dude's been apprehended. I don't know where he's at right now. I'm assuming in El Paso. But he definitely should suffer, my nigga. Because, as a matter of fact, I believe, because I'm on Twitter and I seen because this happened Saturday, yes. And then on Sunday, one of the families of the victim started trending because she was like, her brother succumbed to his wounds in the hospital. So make that 23 that died, I believe. So rest in peace. I believe there was another one in March. I can't remember. Like, I can't keep up with these mass shooting shits. There's one happened in March, I believe. And yeah, happened in March. I believe I said rest in peace to them. Something happened in March. I can't remember. So rest in peace to the victims of the El Paso shooting. And hopefully their families could get some type of justice. Because this white nationalist crap. Gotta relax. I don't understand what's with these dudes' hobbies and going to buy guns and shooting up people randomly. I understand if you shoot people that you know that wronged you, but that's still wrong. But you shoot random people that have nothing to do with you. It's like, I'm confused. The next one, the Dayton, Ohio shooting. What happened? Another 9 people were killed in a shooting in the Oregon district of Dayton, Ohio. The suspect in that shooting is also dead. Wow. Possible motive. At a news conference on Tuesday, Dayton Police Chief Richard Beal said the gunman had expressed a desire to commit a mass shooting. The FBI said that the gunman was exploring violent ideologies, but added that it has not made a final determination on his motive. About the shooter. A Twitter account that appears to belong to mass shooter Connor Betts retweeted extreme left-wing and anti-police posts, as well as tweets supporting Antifa or anti-fascist protesters. Yeah, why did they put they put anti-fascist, protesters. That's wrong. Yeah, so these two dudes were clearly deranged. You know, I'm not gonna say what race they are, even though you guys know what race they are, but that's neither here nor there. So it's the world we live in, where people do mass shootings and people are killed that got nothing to do with the shooter. They just shoot they shoot at random. You can't even say they shoot at will at random. Shit is crazy to me. How these dudes move like this and they do these things to these random people. I don't get that shit. So, you know, so they said he's dead. I'm assuming the police killed him or whatever. So, and then in the other one, in the El Paso one, they was like how when they apprehended dude, how they escorted him in handcuffs and no brute force, and that's another story for another day. But it's crazy, man. That's all I can say, man. It's crazy. So it's laughable, man. This shit is a joke. I don't know, but all I can say is R.I.P. to those victims. You know, hopefully their families find some type of solace, even though these events happened. You know. So, R.I.P. to all of them. Now, damn, now that I think about it. Now I'm going to say that, I'm going to hang myself. Now, let's start with the music. We got a good amount of music to speak about on this beautiful day. You feel me? Start off with the 2 songs that Big Sean dropped. Oh, let me tell y'all something real quick. With this YouTube shit. With the YouTube shit, if you watch it, you're not going to be able to get the music that I play on the audio, because YouTube is very, very hard on copyright infringement. I know, because when I used to rap in 2009 and 2010, they used to hit you with, they used to send an email, this song is in violation of copyright. All you do is usually instrumental. This song is in violation of copyright infringement, blah, 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 it has been deleted, blah, 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 blah. So the songs, you got to, when you're in this industry, you got to learn. I learned firsthand from that, and when I watch other podcasts, there's no music playing unless they have the rights to that. But chances are they don't have the rights to it, or they're just plugged in somehow. So there won't be any music on the video. So just keep that in mind. It'll only be on the audio. Yeah. So yeah, let's start with the first 2 songs that Big Sean dropped off last week. Was that last? Yes, there was either last week. I think it was the day after I did my last podcast, which was like 2 weeks ago. So he dropped off Overtime, which was like a solo song by himself. You know, his comeback song detailing, you know, he's about to get back in the lab and get his shit off. And I wasn't a fan of this one. I didn't like this one particularly. You know, I kind of fell off Big Sean for a while now. Not really feeling him. I feel like he has to do a lot more. He's let too much time pass by to like be on some laid back shit, you know, pretty much. So, yeah, Overtime. I would play it, but If I play it, it's gonna be on the video. It'll be no sound, so it doesn't make any sense. So yeah, Overtime, Big Sean. It's a good song. I'm not gonna say it's bad. It's not a bad song. Like it's good. It's just I'm not replaying that. That's it. The second song was Single Again. This is the song I like. This is one that was with Ty Dolla $ign and Jhené Aiko. I like this one because it was more geared towards R&B. I like when Big Sean gets in his relationship rapidy style. I like that. It actually is like, it's relatable. You get what I'm saying? I like that type of shit. So out of the two songs, I like Single Again. Single Again is the one I definitely like. Produced by Big Sean. See, and then they released this semi-cover art. But it's like, I'm not really the best with script. It says produced by Big Sean and D. Gilly or D. Lilly and Cam. I'm not even going to attempt to read that. D. Gilly and Cam something. Additional production by Take a Day Trips. I can't read that. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it and sound like a moron. I can't read this script shit. You know, it'll be on the screen so y'all can read it yourselves. Because I can't read that. I can read the song. I can read the words that stand out. I can't read the words that don't stand out. Additional production by Take a Day Trip. Yeah, I'm gonna stop attempting because I can't do that shit. So, Big Sean, Overtime, and Single Again. It's just it's weird that the song is called Single Again and then he has his ex-girlfriend on it. So most niggas would say that's boss, but I don't say shit like that. But that is kind of cool though, that you got your ex-girlfriend on the song called Single Again. That's really interesting. Really interesting. So yeah, go check those out. Or don't. Drake Care Package. So last Friday, Drake released a compilation album of a lot of old songs, let me say that. And a lot of these songs came out when I was when I was a Drake fan at its biggest, when I was Drake's fan at the biggest point in my life, if that makes sense. I said that all wrong. When he was dropping these songs is when I was a fan of Drake the most. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, Dreams Money Can Buy, The Motion, How About Now, Trust Issues, Days in the East, Draft Day, 4 p.m. in Calabasas, 5 a.m. in Toronto, I Get Lonely, My Side, Jodeci, Club Paradise, Free Spirit, Heat of the Moment, Girls of Beyonce, Paris More Music, and Can I? Now, about 6 of these came out when I was in high school. And I feel like at that point in time, like I was telling somebody yesterday, it's like, matter of fact, I was telling Ron. I was telling Ron that when Mac Miller dropped Best Day Ever, which was in 2011, like it resonated with the high school kids the most because he was in high school. You get what I'm saying? Like, It just certain artists at that time when they were like coming out, it registered more with high school students specifically. And I was in high school when Drake dropped a lot of these. Dreams Money Can Buy, let me see. Club Paradise, Paris More Music. Those are probably the 3 biggest songs on this damn thing. Those are the ones that came out in high school. So shit, 3 songs. Oh, when I Get Lonely came out in high school, but I didn't really fuck with that. Like, these songs came out in high school, and like that's when Drake was really on his hunger, and you could hear it. Like his songs, his introspective songs, I think those are unmatched. Those are unmatched. Like you're not finding introspective songs like that from any other artist. Like he really dissected himself when he used to do them type of songs. You understand what I'm saying? Like Paris More Music, come on, that was Drake at his peak. Like, you're not getting that Drake no more. Nope. You're not getting that type of Drake no more. Paris More Music was what, 2010? Because Ashton Martin Music came out 2010. Yeah, that was 2010. Yep. That's the same beat. or it's kind of like the same age. Like, so what he did was he compiled all these songs, put them together, and made a compilation album. And the reason why he put it out now, kind of, is because I'm sure all these songs had some type of sample issue at some point in time. That's why they weren't on any, because none of these songs you can find on his albums, because they're like throwaways. They're like loose songs that you will just find on SoundCloud or something like that. And so I'm sure here in 2019, I'm sure he got them all cleared, all the samples that were used, and yeah, now he was able to compile all of them. And he's missing, and I told somebody, like, he's missing the biggest one, which is 9 a.m. in Dallas. Any real Drake fan knows that 9 a.m. in Dallas is like the one that introduced us to Drake, and that's when he was like really, really at his best. That was like what, 09, 9 a.m. in Dallas came out? And that's not on here. And that's how you know, like, it was something with it, because he put 4 p.m. in Calabasas and 5 a.m. in Toronto. So that tells me 9 a.m. in Dallas was going to be on here, but something happened because you put the other 2 time ones. So, and like I said, that's probably like his biggest loose song. So, but not more than all of these got their samples cleared at the right time. He put them all together, released it. I seen a lot of people on Facebook and Twitter like reminiscing, like, damn, these songs putting me back in my feelings, and I ain't heard these in years. And once again, these is where laptops come into play. So where computers come into play. You get what I'm saying? Like, these things matter when it comes to things that you can no longer when you can no longer find things. These are where these come into play. All those mixtapes from 05 and 06 and 07 that was available on that Piff and that's not available no more, and all that type of stuff, all that blogging era shit. That's what the computer's for. I've been moving with the same set of songs since 08, 09. I've been moving with the same list, and it just keeps growing as the years go by. I got my external hard drive. I just keep switch. If I get a new laptop, just take everything off this one, put on another one. But yeah, people forget about technology. I forget about computers, and y'all just move on to phones and tablets. Nothing wrong with that. Just don't forget the computer. You know, people ask you, like, how you got this song? Because I have a computer. I put it on my phone from my computer. I don't use streaming sites like that. Like, I do, but I don't. So I have all these songs in my iTunes library. It's been there since they came out. So I'm not downloading this care package shit because I already have them. So, but he did something smart. Like, he released, 10-year-old songs, I'm sure, for $9.99 on iTunes. That's how they get you. That's how it's a business. Let them relive their moments of nostalgia with these old shits, and they're gonna go out and buy it. And some of you did. Nothing wrong with that. It's just, if you had a computer, you would have had it from the time they came out. So I don't know. But anyways, Drake also signed a deal with Sirius XM. I said XF. Sirius Radio. Where's that shit at? The new partnership scope includes a dedicated station, curated music, and collaboration with creative talent. Financial terms are near our public. And this is to me, this was kind of weird because he had just got a deal with Apple. Not just, but 3-4 years ago, he got a deal with Apple Music. Well, he was doing the OVO radio on that shit, OVO sound, whatever it's called. And it says he signed a partnership with Apple Music for $19 million. So it's like 4 years later, you already on to something else. And I know Sirius XM gave him like $50 million. I know they did, because it's Drake we talking about. And nobody listens to fucking Sirius unless you're in the car. And that's very seldom that people even in their car listen to Sirius XM. So shout out to Drake. And then Sirius XM, apparently they combined with Pandora. I didn't even know that. That's how little people, let's talk about Sirius XM and Pandora, because Pandora used to be the shit once upon a time. Now that shit is in the wayside. That shit, I actually reinstalled my Pandora about 2 weeks ago just to see what changed, and it changed, and it's just not for me no more. Hasn't been for me. I haven't used Pandora in like 4 years. 5 years, maybe, yeah, 4 years. I haven't used Pandora. It's been a very long time. So, shout out to Drake, man. Drake cashing up the money, man. That shit crazy. He signed with XM. I know that was for Matt. That was for probably 30, 40 million. Apple probably wasn't putting up the money to sign him back. That's probably what it was. They was probably being shiesty with it. So, I don't know. I would say go get XM radio, but nobody does. Nobody listens to that. So, Port of Miami 2. Port of Miami 2, Rick Ross. That comes out Friday at midnight. He released the track list last week. It is 15 songs. We have already heard 4. Yes, we've heard 4. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 features on the 15 tracks. Now, I'm not going to do no super dive into this because I've spoke about this for the last 3 weeks, I believe. Before, like, we've got the track list and the release date and all that. The way Justice League was tweeting on Twitter, it's like, oh, we got the music that y'all want to hear. We Justice League, Just Blaze is all over the album. X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. I go look at the song credits. Excuse me. I go look at the song credits. Justice League only produced 1 song. You understand what I'm saying? They produced 1 song. Just Blaze only produced 1 song. And that kind of like shocked me because I thought this album was going to sound a specific way. Now I'm not so much believing that no more. Because Justice League is known for that soulful, rich, luxurious sounding shit. Like I was picturing this album sounding just a little bit smoother and relaxed. But then when I looked at the song credit, like I said, you got Cardiac on here, you got Boy Wonder on here, you got some other people on. Jake One is on here, and it's like, now I'm confused on what it's gonna sound like. Now I'm confused what it's gonna sound like. You know what I'm saying? So you got Nipsey on here, which is, I want to hear that. Nipsey and Tiana's on the song. A Boogie and Denzel Curry. Drake, Go Roses. That's a good song. That came out last Friday. That's a good song. If the Sabrina Claudio song hadn't come out, that's what I would have started with. Go Roses, because that's a good song. That's that sound that I thought the album was gonna sound like. That Go Roses. You get what I'm saying? I thought that's what it was gonna sound like. But when I'm looking at the track list, it don't look like that's what it's gonna sound like. That do not look like what it's gonna sound like. So hopefully it do. He got Gunplay on here, Wale on here. We heard the Wale song. That shit is whack. Summer Walker, Dej Loaf, Swizz. We heard that song already. Meek is on there. Jeezy, Lucci, Ball Greasy, and the other ones I said earlier. Like, so I can't wait. I can't wait till it drops. You know, I've been looking forward to Port of Miami since he dropped Rather Me Than You, and that was 2 years ago. So hopefully this one is the one that's like, yeah, I could roll with this. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I can't stop yawning all of a sudden. So Port of Miami 2, that's out Friday at midnight. Hot August Nights, that's Currency. That's supposed to drop August 16th. Currency hasn't dropped the album in a very long time. Maybe 3 years since he dropped the album. He's dropped nothing but mixtapes and EPs and shit, but he hasn't dropped the album in a very long time. So he had upload. It's funny because he uploaded the cover art yesterday, but then he deleted it. So I don't know what that was about. But Hot August Nights, August 16th, that comes out next Friday. Jeezy, TM104, Legend of the Snowman. I had to rethink real quick. Thug Motivation 104, Legend of the Snowman. That comes out August 23rd, which is in 2 weeks. He didn't drop a cover art, but he just released the release date about 2 days ago. I just started becoming a fan of Jeezy in TM103, which was 2011. So this is the sequel to that, and that was 8 years ago. So I don't know. This, I became my biggest Jeezy fan when he dropped "Seen It All," which was 2014. That's my favorite album from Jeezy. "Seen It All." I like that album. Then he dropped "Church in These Streets." Then he dropped "Trap or Die 3." And then he dropped No Pressure. No, Pressure. Wasn't a fan of Pressure. "Trap or Die 3, yeah. "Church in These Streets, "Seen It All." That's that one I like. So TM104, Thug Motivation 104, that's August 23rd. Now, on to some miscellaneous. Not even miscellaneous, still music. So there was this top 50 list that suddenly, all of a sudden, went viral, like on Sunday, I want to say. It started on Twitter, like always. That's where everything comes from. I try to tell y'all, get on Twitter. Nobody wants to listen. Niggas be super late when shit comes out to get to Facebook. I always see, you know what I always see on Facebook? I always see Twitter quotes on Facebook. Like some guy, some person, some woman or man said some really deep shit on Twitter and it somehow ended up on Facebook. I don't know. I always see that shit. Anyways, this top 50 list came out and it started an uproar on the timeline. And I'm not about to see I don't want y'all to get the illusion I'm about to give y'all another top 50 list. I'm about to give you my own. No, I'm not doing that. The reason why I'm not doing that is because matter of fact, I should have screenshotted that. Static Selector said it the best. Everybody comes from a different era, a different time of music, a different age, a different region. Nobody will ever agree on these lists. Ever. Period. That's why I don't know why. That's why I don't even comment on when certain blog sites post certain lists. It don't make no sense to even comment because you know why? I'm going to say no. It should have been like this. Then the next person is going to say no. It should have been like this. And then the third person is going to say no. This is never going to agree. Especially if you want to say in order. There's no order. Ain't no order. You understand what I'm saying? Now, for some reason, it's because the way how it started was a podcast. Some random podcast threw up a list on Twitter. And that shit, like I said, went viral. I don't know how. Whatever. And I don't really. Okay, the only thing I'm going to dissect real quick. And when it comes to this top 50 list, they have Big Boy. Big Boy, I don't agree with. I don't agree with Killer Mike. I don't agree with Stack Bundles. I don't agree with Lloyd Banks. I don't agree with Lupe Fiasco. And everything else can pretty much stay the same. In no order. But those five, no. Not on the 50. Nope. Not on the 50. Because we all know there's legends, bro. This dude's automatically gonna make that list from everyone, any age, from any time, from any age and any region. Like off the top of my head, I could tell you. You got what? Nas, Biggie, Jay, Mac Dre, Scarface, Tupac. 8-Ball MJG. Shit, I'm having a brain freeze. I can't believe this. I'm trying to do it without looking at this list. Common. Yep. Eminem. Even though I hate to say that, but it's true. Ice Cube. Big Pun. Big L. 50. Busta Rhymes. Like, these are dudes that's automatically You don't even got to think about it. Snoop, you know, these automatically, all like off top, is going on that list. And that's just what? That was like 12, 13 people. Like, that's without even really putting in any thought. Like, that's automatically off top. These is legends going down in history. Like, history. Kool Moe Dee, Kool G Rap, Big Daddy Kane, LL Cool J. They're going in the list off rip. It's like them secondary dudes you got to think of. You understand what I'm saying? Those secondary lists, those secondary names that you got to like come up with. They're not automatic legends, but they are legends in their own right. Let's say that. So I don't know why this specific list, because this a list of 50 greatest rappers have come out before. This list from this random podcast, for some reason, caused an uproar for the last 3 days. I don't know why. Doesn't make sense to me. Like something was off with this. Like this specific podcast that nobody's ever heard of. No offense to them. Nobody's ever heard of this podcast. They went viral off of some list that has come out 50 times already. Something's fishy there. So, yeah. I'm not about to say the name of the podcast. They don't need no more fucking publicity. They're good. I need the publicity. Podcast about Nathan. Give me the publicity. So I could be on Revolt TV and MTV2 and all that good stuff. You feel me? Give me the publicity. I'm not giving nobody no publicity. Especially now it's on video. Ain't nobody getting no more publicity no more. Ain't no more free promo. Ain't none of that stuff. So, podcast about Nathan. Podcast about Nathan at Gmail. Send all your inquiries there. Oh yeah, we talking big shit. You heard? We we making moves out here. So send all your inquiries and your inquiries to the podcast about Nathan at Gmail. To go on this GOAT conversation, Wale decided to jump in and say he's one of the GOATs. Now, I don't agree with that. Now, this is coming from a person that Wale was once his favorite rapper, once upon a time. I still listen to Wale, just not as much as I used to. Yeah. I'm one of the greatest rappers of all time. That's what he said on Twitter. That's usually what they say on Twitter. They hate social media, but that's where they talk all their shit at, like always. Hate old people or older people. Hate social media, but then they spend all their time on it. So this is what he said on Twitter. Last album had 1 platinum and 2 gold singles. I just don't be talking my talk all the time because I got some things going on in my head. But what we not going to do is act like the hits haven't been coming for 10 years. Oh, Kurt. Crossover SBs, then did it again. Super early with a lot of artists. I put a lot of y'all favorites on their first tour. I broke Z Share back in the day. I got Seinfeld to leave the house. I post food now. Ramen. Those are just the ones I screenshot. I wasn't going to copy. I wasn't going to screenshot everything he said. Here's my case for Wale. Wale has about 8 albums, I want to say. No, like 6. He has about 6 albums. I had a nice conversation with one of my friends, Greg, and he said, Wale doesn't have a classic album. I actually fought down with him, and I said, Ambition is kind of a classic album. That was like his major label debut album. That wasn't his first album, but it was his major label debut. And it was a great major label debut. And I fought in favor of Wale. But then when I went back and I analyzed the tape, I'm like, yeah, Ambition ain't a classic like I thought it was. It's not a classic. It's not. Me personally, Ambition and the album About Nothing, those are Wale's magnum opuses. Well, the album About Nothing, that's Wale's magnum opus. You know, so he did what? What did he do? Ambition. He did What was that first album called? Attention Deficit. That was his debut album. Attention Deficit. That was terrible. Then it was Ambition. Then it was The Gifted. Terrible. Then it was the album about nothing. Good. Then it was Shine. Terrible. So he's one of those guys who's had good albums and very bad albums. Good albums, very bad albums. You can't really, it don't matter how many, what he tried to pretty much use on Twitter was, I did a lot of things for a lot of people. I was on this stage. I was on this tour. I was on this. I went to Howard. I gave speeches. Like, that don't make you a greatest of all time. You understand? And that's another reason why I don't have these type of conversations, because they're futile. I'm not about to. You got to understand. You got to be a lyricist. You got to have a catalog. You got to have good well, that's pretty much a catalog. You got to have a good, well, not the same thing, but you got to have a catalog. You got to have good albums. You got to have done this for a little bit. You got to have singles. You got to have. Wale was never at no point in time the best at anything while he was rapping. No offense. These are not offenses to him. These are not offenses to him. I'm a Wale fan. At no point in time was Wale the best rapper while he was out. At no point in time was Wale the hottest rapper. Was no point in time Wale the biggest rapper. At no point in his career was he any of these. None. The world stops for Drake, Cole, Kendrick, Meek, Big Sean, Future. The world stopped. Not Big Sean, but yeah, the other names. The world stops for these people. Wale was never one of those people. Even Chance, people stop. The world stops for. Wale has never stopped the world ever. Nobody was like, "Oh my God, the new Wale's coming." Nobody other than Wale fans. You don't hear Wale songs on the radio. The last Wale song I heard on the radio was like "No Hands," and it's not even a Wale song. That's Waka Flocka song. You don't hear, like, I don't know what world Wale, and then he's retweeting all these people that are bigging him up, and they're his fans. I'm a fan, and I can tell you Wale is not one of the GOATs. He's not one of the GOATs. You're not. Everything I just said was accurate. You have never been the top of anything while you were rapping. You didn't have the best album of the year. You didn't have. I remember 2013 when he called into Complex and he screamed and cursed that his album wasn't on the top 50 of the year. Like, all he does is complain. All he does is complain his way into conversations. I'm overlooked. I'm overshadowed. Nobody talks about me. That's because you're doing something wrong. Period. You were with MMG in the early part of the 2010s. That was one of the biggest groups once upon a time, at the time. Hottest groups. Meek Mill, Rick Ross. They was on fire. You couldn't make it happen. How were you overlooked when you were with MMG? Everybody was saying MMG. Everybody was saying MMG. Something you're doing wrong, Wale. Periods. Like, every year you come, every day I see him on Twitter. He complains nonstop. Like, bro, you're not as successful as you think you are. You want to be in that J. Cole, Kendrick, Drake conversation, but you haven't earned it. You've earned more than a lot of people, but you haven't earned that. Kendrick stopped the world with To Pimp a Butterfly. J. Cole stopped the world with Forest Hills Drive. Drake stopped the world with If You're Reading This Is Too Late. Nothing Was the Same. Take Care. He's done it 3 fucking times. Wale has never stopped the world with none of his projects, none of his mixtapes. I love the one in 2016, which was Summer on Sunset. I love that mixtape. It didn't stop the world, though. People don't even talk about that shit. People don't talk about Wale. This is the most I've talked about Wale since I've even done this podcast. Other than when he dropped the album 2 years ago, that was terrible. And when I was in the beginning of doing my podcast, that was like, other than this, I've never spoke about him this much. Like, you're not as successful as you think you are. You're not. You get what I'm saying? And it's just crazy. Like, he really is in some world where he thinks he's one of the greatest. When you look at the names on this list, Styles P, Black Thought, Jadakiss, Beanie Siegel, Pusha T, Scarface, Andre 3000, DMX, T.I., Method Man, Prodigy, Jeezy, Cameron, AZ, Mace, Game. Wale don't fit in that. His name don't even sound right in that amongst those people. It don't even sound right. Like, y'all get what I'm saying? Like, it don't even sound right in that mix. You ain't do what them people have done. You ain't do it. Jeezy stopped the world with My President is Black. He stopped the world with that song, bro. Come on. Jadakiss stopped the world with Why? Kiss of Death. Styles P stopped the world with I Get High, High, High every night. These people have stopped the world once upon a time. Pusha T was beefing with Drake. Like, come on. What are you talking about? Lupe Fiasco stopped the world with Kick Push. Took the world by storm. What are you talking about? T.I., Live Your Life. Whatever You Like. About the Money. These are monumental songs. What are you talking about, bro? What are you talking? You don't fit in that list. Come on, man. I ain't gonna keep talking about this dude. I ain't gonna keep talking about this dude, man. I ain't gonna keep doing it because A$AP Rocky was released from prison last week. I believe Saturday. Not prison, jail. He was in jail in Sweden, as we all know already. Apparently, he's supposed to go back to Sweden August 14th and find out if he's going to serve prison time. But he already said he's not going back to Sweden. They pretty much going to have to come and find him, which is going to be a whole diplomatic thing, and it's going to be a big thing. They're not actually going to come and try to arrest him because it's going to turn into like a diplomatic type thing, and yeah. So I'm really going to say that he got released. He put out a statement on A$AP on Instagram though. Thank you from the bottom of my heart to all my fans, friends, and anyone across the globe who supported me during these last few weeks. I can't begin to describe how grateful I am for all of you. This has been a very difficult and humbling experience. I want to thank the court for allowing me Blatty and Toto to return to our Oh, okay. He didn't put commas. I was like, what? Allowing me, Blatty, and Toto to return to our family and friends. Thanks again for all the love and support. That's from A$AP Rocky. Boom, as you should, because there's a lot of people on your side, my boy. There's a lot of people on your side. Even though you kind of didn't deserve it. But a lot of people was on your side. Last but not least, Hulu or Disney announced not a partnership because they own Hulu. They announced that in November when they drop their Disney Plus app, that's going to be monumental. I cannot wait till that shit drops. They announced that in November when they drop the Disney Plus app, it's going to be a bundle with ESPN Plus and Hulu. And it's going to be $13 a month. That's monumental. I have Hulu right now. I've said this 1,000 times. I've always championed Hulu. I will never not champion Hulu. I have Hulu. I have a Hulu and Spotify bundle right now, which is like $13. I believe it's $13 a month. This is major. This is major because Disney. That's going to be a major streaming service. That's going to murder everything already out there. It's going to kill everything because Disney owns everything. So all the studios that you think are not owned by Disney are probably owned by Disney, and it's going to be on all the movies are going to be on that Disney app. So it's going to be scary for them streaming services. Hulu's going to survive because, like I said, Hulu's owned by Disney, so it doesn't even matter. And Amazon got the money to buy rights to any movie. What is left? We all know it. or what won't be left? Netflix. So all you Netflix dweebs, just keep sticking around with that bullshit app if you want to. Because come November, the app is going to be done for. Period. Nigga. Star Wars. You got all the Marvel. All the animated Pixar shits. All of that's going to be on Disney. And I'm already a Hulu user, so I've been a Hulu user for 5 years, so maybe 6 years. So I'm off rip getting it. And ESPN Plus, the reason that's shit blowing my mind. ESPN, I'm gonna be able to watch baseball at work. What? For $13? What? Yo, Hulu is the GOAT. Disney's the GOAT. ESPN is the GOAT. And then they put this shit in to rub it in. The bundle will be priced at $13 a month, a $5 discount versus subscribing to all 3 plans individually. Not coincidentally, $12.99 is the same price as Netflix standard monthly. So they threw that in to be petty. I didn't even know Netflix was $13. Like, yeah, I know. I don't pay that shit no more. $13 for that trash? Shit, you got me. Shit. That's all I can say. Same day. Yeah, on November 12th, the same day Disney Plus launches. That's in about 4 months. 4 months and 4 days. Now, okay, return. It's gonna be serious, boy. It's gonna be serious. I can't wait for that Disney app to drop. Off rip. I'm copping it, nigga. November 12th. And that shit better be available on Xbox November 12th. Because I'm tight that the Boomerang app, you know, the old throwback cartoons, that's not on Xbox app. I'm tight. You can only get that on smartphones and tablets. I don't like that. That shit needs to be on Xbox. That shit needs to be on Xbox. I was going to talk about something else. Let me erase that. I was going to talk about something else, but I already spoke enough. This was a great first episode for video. Hopefully, when I go chop it up and edit it and all that good stuff, it comes out good for you guys. Hopefully, it comes out how I want it to come out, how I envisioned it in my head, because I was really eager to do this podcast. I couldn't wait to do it. Like I said, hopefully it comes out beautiful and perfect how I was envisioning it. So, and I'll release it when it's ready. What you need? One of these days, one of these next 2 days. So, I want to thank the viewers when y'all view this. Hopefully, I watched the whole 50-something minutes. Thanks for the feedback everybody's been giving me. Thanks for everything. Y'all my guys. Podcast about Nathan, episode 65. I'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yo, it's your boy Things Greg C's from Sounds of Vibes Radio.
What it do? It's your boy Rondo.
Hey, this is Jenny from JA Photography.
It's your boy, some for Dawn, some Fidelity.
Yo, what's good, man? It's your boy City.
I want to give a shout out to my man 88.
And you're now locked in
And you're listening to the podcast.
And y'all tuned in.
And you're now tuned in
The podcast about Nathan.
to the podcast about Nathan with the homie 88 Coops. You heard?
One and only 88.
With your boy 88 Coops. You know what I mean?